Hey, I'm live, which to you won't mean much because when you watch this, I'll be doing something else. Something of kind of Thanksgiving variety. Whenever you watch this was right before Thanksgiving, and my family was going to do Thanksgiving. I have a family member that we discussed training with. Deadlifting. My greatest lifts of my life were not the bench press or the deadlift or the what I would call the low bar squat, because that's the squat that most people discuss is a low bar squat. So those all limit the range of motion that you lift in. My lifting life was made up when I was the strongest that I have ever been, were with lifts that maximize range of motion over strength development. That's what I have done. Now, why am I going to talk about deadlifting a few minutes? Because if you are not even up to a jabroni level, a jabroni is just someone who's in something but not very good, not going anywhere, but is making a living. They are doing okay. If you're what I would call a jabroni lifter, which is what I am pretty much, and I'm proud of that, I have no problem with that, then there's no better way to get the most bang for the buck than with a deadlift. If you're like 41, 42 years old and you don't like to spend time in the gym, then there's nothing better than the deadlift. If you started out at the gym January 1st and you went in and worked up to a set of 5, just like Mr. Ripito says, of the deadlift, and you did the best deadlift you could. Let's say it's 100. Let's say you're pretty athletic. Let's just say it was 150 pounds, just for sake of argument. And then the next week, you waited 7 days, and you added a 10 pound. And you got to 160. And then you proceeded through January, and by the end of January, you're up to 190, right? And then sometime in February, you couldn't successfully pull, let's say, 240. And you said, well, that's too much. I can't do that. And you added 5 pounds, and you did 245. And you just, as Hank Stram, the football coach, if you just matriculated up, that's 52. Because, I mean, bear in mind, if you went 10 pounds from there, you'd have a 650-pound deadlift by the end of the year, something like that. My numbers might be off a little bit, but you know the point. So somewhere in there, you're going to hit something. But if you did that every week, by the end of the year, you would have a massively strong rear end. You'd have very strong hips. Your calves would get bigger. Your shoulders would see some kind of, because they have to support that weight. Your back, your lower back would be strong. All the real core, if you will, would be stronger. And you get a lot accomplished in a very little time. And if it's done properly, if you know how to deadlift and you're taught deadlifting technique properly, you wouldn't hurt yourself. Which is very important. It's very important to understand the deadlift and what to do with your back and so forth and so on. You can hurt yourself. Okay, I granted, but done properly, and it doesn't take that much. If you watch YouTube videos and you're honest and so forth, you can do it. So that's why it's important. So for me, I still want to weight lift as much as I can. I still want to clean. I like to clean. I don't want to lose my clean. I don't really care so much about the snatch. that stuff going behind your head. I think I could drop a barbell on my head, hurt myself. I really don't think it's worth it. I really don't want to pull up past my shoulders anymore. I might do it occasionally, but I'm going to keep it light. It's not something I'm concerned about. So the long and short, I'd like by the end of the year to pull a 200 rep, a 200-pound, which is just 80 kilos, 85 kilos, whatever that is for my foreign listeners. I mean, that's plenty for now. Or is it maybe 90? 180 plus. Yeah, about 90 kilos. That's really all I want to do this year for 5. And we'll go from there. Because in my heyday, my best pull was like 360 off the floor for a single. I mean, this was years ago. This is years ago when I had to walk, 35, 40 miles a week through big old cotton fields, stained, managing people, 6 or 7 hours of sleep at night, working all the time in 100+ heat. And I still pulled 360. So that's pretty good. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Take care.